Okay, guys, now we are going to start getting into laying the groundwork for creating the actual creatives. And the way that we're going to start is by utilizing AI. I've got an entire course inside of Elite Marketer Academy that's automation and AI mastery. You absolutely should go through that because I do a much deeper dive into my core two tools that I use for creating ads. And that is obviously ChatGPT and also Claude. And I'm going to start with ChatGPT. And to make things a little bit easier for you, I actually have a custom GPT down below this. It's a Virtual CMO. Essentially, what I have done here is I've tried to create a GPT that kind of thinks the way that I do, takes my expertise, takes the kind of the knowledge and things that I put into creating offers. And you can use it beyond just ads. Like you could use this literally to bounce ideas off of and come up with better strategies and that sort of thing. But I think it's a great place to start to help you kind of lay the foundation for some ads. And what I've done down below this video, you'll see this prompt template here that you can use as well. And I'm going to fill this out with you. And what we're going to use this for is not to write the copy. I would not recommend that you use ChatGPT to write your copy. I'm going to do a separate section or a separate lesson on copywriting. And in fact, go through the AI mastery course because in that I do a deep dive into copywriting with AI. I'm not going to go as deep into this, but what we're going to essentially do is we're going to take the strategy. We're going to use ChatGPT to help us develop a strategy and we're going to fine tune it. I'm going to show you how we do that. And then once that strategy is done, the next lesson, I'll show you how to take that over to Claude, create a custom project there based on your strategy, and then we'll kind of go from there. Okay, so I'm going to be using my actual offer, which is Elite Marketer and Elite Marketer Academy. So I'm going to just take a moment and describe what my offer is. Okay, so the prompt is very simple. I want you to help me develop a strategy for my ad creative. My offer is called Elite Marketer. I help coaches and consultants optimize their marketing and operations so they can optimize their revenue. This ad is going to be offering a quiz they can take to see if they have a strong lead magnet. So you can give a little bit more detail here. Ideally, if you have a lot more detail, that's great. But I'm being very specific to the ad campaign. So if you're going to use the virtual CMO, I'd recommend being very specific to the ad that you're trying to build. And that's what I'm doing here. So I'm going to be offering my lead magnet OS quiz that I use as a lead generator. So my target audience, obviously, high ticket coaches and consultants, their biggest pain point usually is inconsistent lead generation and sales. There obviously are more, but for the specifics of this ad, I'm honing in on that. So that's what I'm pointing out to you. I'd recommend that you do. The biggest pain point as it relates to whatever you're writing the ad about. Okay, so for example, if you're doing a masterclass about macros, if you're in the fitness space, then their biggest pain point is not understanding their macros, right? And or don't know how to actually track or properly identify what their macros should be. Right. So you wouldn't say their biggest pain point is the inconsistent weight loss. You want to be very specific to whatever their main pain point is specific to the ad that you're running, the lead magnet you're running the ad for. Okay. So then I describe my lead magnet. It's a lead magnet quiz. It's a virtual quiz that someone can take and it will help them pinpoint where their magnet may be losing the money, help me craft a creative strategy for top of funnel lead generation. This is important. The reason I'm pointing out top of funnel so they understand that it's a cold lead. Okay. And of course, what's my campaign objective? It's lead generation. As I mentioned in previous lessons, if you're in that 0 to 10K, even 10K to 100K per month in ad spend, a majority of your ad spend, you're just starting out, 100% of your ad spend should be prospecting, but a majority, over 70%, should usually be prospecting. Okay. So this is lead generation. If I were to do a ad for something like a booked call, which might be, sending people straight to a VSL or straight to a recorded webinar or something that where the objective might be a schedule, right? A schedule book call, then maybe I would say the objective is to schedule a book call. So that's it. I'm going to put it in thinking mode. This, I'm not sure which version. Oh, it's 5.2 thinking. ChatGPT changes every day, so it might say something different, but you want to do the one that isn't the quickest return. You want to do the one that makes it think a little bit. Let's send it off to Ben, virtual Ben, and let's see what he comes back with. Okay, so it came back with quite a bit of information, and I'm going to go through some of this with you. We're going to break down what to do with it next in a separate video. So basically, your top of funnel lead gen ads should do one job: make high ticket coaches and consultants want to take the lead magnet quiz right now because it diagnoses the real reason their lead flow is inconsistent. You win by running multiple creative angles that call out distinct failure models, then letting Meta match each message to the right person through creative variation, not targeting. So this is important. We are going to do some targeting. Don't get me wrong. We're going to, as I mentioned in one of the previous lessons, if you're just starting out, you're going to set some parameters, okay, to guide it in the right direction. But we really want to make sure that creative is doing the right job. And so this is why I've built this into my custom GTP to guide you in the right direction. So creative's the new targeting, especially now. It's kind of giving you kind of some feedback here. The lead magnet fits the highest performing top of funnel pattern. The quiz reveals the real problem, creates urgency by showing hidden leakage. So it's just kind of reaffirming that I've got a good lead magnet. It might offer some suggestions to you. Don't be surprised if it does, if it feels like maybe you're missing the mark with your lead magnet. So don't take that personally. It's just something that I've kind of built into the GPT. So here's my message architecture for top of funnel. So hook, we're going to call out a specific symptom, mechanism, right? It's just giving an example. We're going to provide some proof and a CTA. All right. So there you go. Actions. So this is what it's telling me. We're going to build your lead magnet failure map. This becomes your angle bank. So this is essentially the 10 failure modes as your initial creative pillars. So wrong promise, magnets attract the wrong buyer, too broad. These are just kind of, things that we're going to be able to touch on in the ads. Then there's our creative buckets for top of funnel lead gen. Bucket A is a symptom call out. So this is a stop the scroll kind of angle. Bucket B is going to be a diagnostic tease. All right. Bucket C is proof by example, mini breakdown. When I say tear down, I mean like a case study. So it'd be like a UGC or a testimonial style ad where I might be talking about the client and kind of tearing down their program. Bucket D is identity and status for high ticket operators. So this is like, proof and life changing, get freedom, kind of a thing with higher ticket and higher intent leads. Okay. And we're going to produce 12 core ads minimum. This is going to give you some things to test with, right? So if you remember back to the structure that I'm recommending, if you're in that 0 to 10K range per month, even if you're beyond that, let's say up to 50K a month, 3 core ad sets with, 3 to 5 ads in each one. Right. So that's where that 12 number is coming from, most likely. 6 short form videos. So these are all of the, 4 statics, 2 carousels, use the plug and play hook formulas. Okay. Right. So this is just giving me kind of my outline. Now, what I'm going to do, so it might be guiding me for more. I'm not going to use ChatGPT for this. And the reason that I'm not is because I find that it's not the best copywriter. But the purpose of this is to give me a core strategy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this. I'm going to go over here. Create a new document. And this is going to be, I can delete that. This is going to be my lead marketer, top of funnel ad strategy. I'm just going to call it that. And then I'm going to download the PDF of this document. And there you go. So we've kind of laid the groundwork for our creative. Now, if there was anything in here that you didn't like, if I didn't like it, I'm not going to get into all of that right now. But, as I was going through, there wasn't anything jumped out to me. It was like, oh my God, no, that's not something that I would do. I point this out in the AI and automation and course in detail, where I talk a lot about humanizing and kind of doing a quality control, quality assurance check on the copy, because sometimes language models like ChatGPT can hallucinate. And they can spit out information that isn't relevant to what you're talking about. Now, the more detail you give it up here, the more likely it's going to be very accurate. This is right in line with how I built my custom GPT. So it doesn't surprise me that everything in here is not 100%. It looks really solid, like the video templates, diagnosis, teardown, status operator. All of these are pretty solid. Testing and budget allocation. This is where I would probably change things. This may be building it in. That's one thing I should probably add to the template is budget. I think if you put your budget in here, it's probably going to guide you in a different direction in terms of the testing and budget allocation. So I might run something a little bit different. This would probably be pretty solid for a bigger ad account, but it's giving me a kill rule, which is good. You don't have to worry about this. We'll talk about a lot of that in the testing and other sections, but everything here is totally fine. Anything that you wanted to change, you could change here, but I've downloaded this. And in the next lesson, what we're going to do is we're going to take it over to Claude and we'll actually start kind of writing some copy. Okay. I'll see you in that lesson.